And we're back, potentially for the last time of tonight, as we're headed to Game 3 of this best of 5 series. And it is match point for HitmonLi, defending their spot in First Division, as they already took the 2 first games of the night. But in my opinion, at least, things were looking up in the second game for Rift Riders, especially in the early to mid stages of the games. In the end, they were not able to take the win, but hopes are high at least.
Yeah, I mean, they adapted their bans, so they took Akali out, and we saw that in the second game. So they managed to keep the tempo up, but lost a huge fight on Baron Pit, where the game switched again. But I think they getting into it. So maybe we will see today a 3-2.
Who knows? Maybe we will see a 3-2 extension. Maybe we will see the reverse sweep coming in for Rift Riders now. In any case, we will see how it pans out in the next game first, as we can, as I'm being told, already head towards champ selection for this first game of the night. And here we are, third game of the night. Rift Riders picked the blue side once again. A wise choice, seeing as they performed way better on this blue side, having more control in the champ select. Another ill omen for HitmonLi, but good omen for Rift Riders is that HitmonLi right now has to play with a substitute, probably one of their players not being able to play the next few games. They have a Neckbeard, a Ranger coming in as a sub for Lubu, who had a very strong presence in the first 2 games. Let's not forget about that. So definitely it's now or never for Rift Riders.
Yeah, I think it's now the third game. If they lose, they can't manage to get to Division 1. There's a lot of stakes for them. They need to take this win. If they take this win, I think that should boost their confidence there and coming back stronger in the next games. But they need to keep calm, trying the same thing like in the last game, staying in control of the objectives, and maybe when they know when they are ahead and getting the game faster done, like not hesitating.
Yeah, not hesitating would be very important once they have the lead. And I think we have already some switch ups here in the bans for HitmonLi, which we didn't have after the first game. I'm hoping for Rift Riders that Belvav is not getting banned, because this Belvav was really good for them. If they can get it again and play along with it, this time, as you mentioned, be more confident when they have the lead, things could pan out to be really good for them.
We see also again the on ban here on HitmonLi's side. They really don't want to see an on in those matches.
Absolutely, and we've seen that Darkness Carl. He's got a hold on this top lane actually. With this Shen, he won that lane essentially, which you would not necessarily expect from a Shen going against a Mordekaiser here. But he still did. He won quite well this lane. He was a very strong match there.
Yeah. Also now Rift Riders banning Jarvan. They struggled a lot against Jarvan. We saw Jarvan just jumping into the back line, keeping the AD carry in Jarvan's ult, opening the opportunity for HitmonLi to get AD carry out and then just run over them.
Absolutely, it was very dangerous, although, as mentioned, Lubu will not be playing this match unless I've been given fraudulent information, but I don't think that's the case. First pick for Rift Riders, and they seem to be switching it up a bit here on the bot lane.
Yeah, now having a hook champ here on bot lane. So the last 2 games we had enchanters, we had Lulu, we had Soraka on Rift Rider's side. So maybe now Rift Riders are thinking, now we look for the engage. We don't want to keep it safe or sustain through the lanes and getting to the late game and trying to get this game done as early as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Deciding to grasp control rather than keep on having the reactivity. On sides of HitmonLi, we open up the dance with a Samira Rel, of course. Could be together with the Samira on the bot lane, but we keep that flexibility. Seems like HitmonLi is all about the flexibility today.
Yeah, the last 2 games we saw so much flex picks on HitmonLi's side. But also we need to mention that Samira Ral they have a very good synergy. Also with the knock-up, with the stun, and also keeping the enemy team all together with her ult.
Yeah, absolutely. Very dangerous. We have the Zeri coming in on the bot lane for Rift Riders, another hyper carry. Works really well with the Nautilus. You have quite a lot of aggression that you can put out there.
Yeah. Also, Ral loving it, being engaged. At the moment when she is engaged, she wants the enemy near to her. So opening with the stuns, or no, countering with the stuns, getting the stacks for Samira so she can get her ult out and deal the whole damage to the enemy. And we see again the Belvad on Rift Rider side, but we see also the answer from HitmonLi with a Vi.
Yeah, the Vi coming in for, well, in this case, a neckbeard, a ranger. The Belvath being picked. I like still the Belvath. I mean, we had a wonderful performance on that Belvath in the previous game. If they can get her ahead in the early stages of the game once again, like before, get those few grubs, get that Herald, this looked really well. And I really hope that they can pull it off this time again, and maybe this time around keep that pressure properly. Go from this Belvath lead towards a Zeri lead, now in this case, and close out the deal. Second ban rotation also coming in. We have the Nico ban coming in, one of Fantasy's main champions, if I'm not mistaken. We're not gonna do the whole discussion again about Hawaii and pizza and whey, but here we have another way ban.
Also, we see the Malphite ban, so no mountains on the Rift for this game.
Yeah, and that's a good ban, because the Malphite would come in handy here. That would beautifully complement the aggressivity you already have with the Nautilus. And it would work well against the Samira Vi. You have a lot of AD on sides of HitmonLi right now still. Could definitely come in handy here, but it's not gonna be the case, not in this game.
Yeah, like you said, so maybe they will go for more AD comp here. In the first game, Malphite was picked really early, and we saw HitmonLi adapting to that pick, picking more AP scaling champs.
Now we have the Zac coming in for HitmonLi again. Could be top lane. Probably is top lane here, and they still have the counter pick in their back pocket. Poppy is being picked up, which works really well here. I mean, it's gonna annoy the Samira, it's gonna annoy the Vi, it's gonna annoy the Zac, it's probably also gonna annoy the Rel to a certain extent. So definitely a good pickup here from Rift Riders.
Yeah, a very huge tank, and
Poppy is really small actually.
in the heart, she is a very huge tank. Or let's say a small tank with a very huge hammer.
Yeah, that is actually quite accurate, yeah.
But like you said, denying the engages of Zack, Vi, Ral, and Samira. A very good pick here to answer to this, to the picks of HitmonLi.
Absolutely, and we see the Azir once again.
Maybe with different runes.
Well, in the end,
What?
I think some people were saying in chat that it was quite okay, and he did go for a more tanky build, right? But a kind of, you know, bruiser mage build that he went for. With the hunting guys. I know at the end he did the, I know it's called, but the chain plate there, the plate.
The chain plate.
The warden's plate, the AD, the 2 cloth AD resistance item.
I think I don't really know the name now. Also, I'm a bit stuck. Maybe the community can help us out in chat.
Yeah, the AD resistance item is just absolutely terrible. I just
but I didn't thought of a tank Azir build. I was a bit confused when I saw the runes, but it worked at certain points.
But where I like seeing this Azir is that Azir was very clean. We had some really great Emperor's Divide to deny the enemy engages, to separate the enemies. There was an insect attempt that in the end didn't bloom out, but the Azir was really clean, so I really like seeing him again here. The answer to that from HitmonLi was a Cassiopeia here. I think we saw live magic on that Cassiopeia once or twice. The Cassiopeia is going to be really nice to deny the Belva from jumping around the way she likes, but it's also going to come in handy against the Azir as well, so overall a very good pickup from them as well.
Yeah, I think the best answer to an engage comp. We see on Rift Rider's side that they have engage, and if it gets too tight, she can ult and deny the engage in certain ways. But also Cassiopeia dealing a lot of damage here. If she manages to get a beautiful ult out and keeping them on one place, putting out the damage she has, maybe turning around the team fight here.
Yeah, and we have on both sides, especially on sides of HitmonLi, we like those long fights now over the time. We like them. We have the Zambiro who needs to get the stacks up, and the longer the fight goes, the better it goes. Same goes for Cassiopeia. The longer you get the poison damage out on the enemy, the better. They really like these long fights. Zack also thrives in long fights, and they have enough explosivity as well with the Vi to kind of not let themselves be caught too off guard. With the Cassiopeia ult as well, you've said it already, lots of reactivity for when you're engaged. So they're overall really stacked up, in my opinion.
Yeah. Looking like a beefy comp here. So also, even if Zack engages and he will die at first, he has his passive, keeping him alive for a bit longer, and maybe the HitmonLi reacting to that and giving Zack the second chance, and when Zack comes back, re-engaging, and they should be very careful of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have, overall, they also have so much sustain in the end, because Zack overall natural sustain, with Samira as well, usually very hard to kill once she gets ahead. Same can for Cassiopeia. This can prove really good for them, but this is something that Azeri does not mind at all. She likes to shred through those beefy enemies, so it's very... I like the comp of HitmonLi because it's very clear-cut. They want those long fights, they're beefy, they survive for long. But on the other hand, Rift Riders, they don't mind the long fights either, and they're actually good at taking down those beefy enemies. So I think we're gonna have... One thing is for sure, we're gonna have some long-ass, really intense fights, and I'm all for that here.
Yeah. I'm, in my opinion, also Asia now going for the AP build because if not, they will lack of AP here. So that's why maybe they picked Nautilus and Poppy, also picking Poppy because the engages of HitmonLi, but 2 tanks, a big front line, the Bruiser with Balvath and Azir with the AP, and Ziri just shredding from behind everybody down. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 2 very well-rounded team comps overall. With some similar tools left and right, as you've mentioned. So we have a lot of engage, of course, on sides of Rift Riders. It's been already noted. You have the Nautilus that can go all in, Poppy, which has a wonderful follow-up as well. But they also have a lot to deny an enemy engage with the Poppy ultimate, with the Asia ultimate as well. They can react really well overall. Same goes for HitmonLi. They have great engage with a Zac, with a Vi. They have immense potential to react to an engage with the Cassiopeia well. So they're very balanced in those 2 aspects, and they have very similar goals when it comes to overall playstyle here, which I really like.
Also, Cassiopeia on mid lane, having the sustain on her kit, getting the mana back with her E when she executes the minions. So, giving her the possibility to stay as long as she wants on lane, to maybe don't give Dazia the opportunity to roam in those situations when there is a window, and forcing him to stay on mid lane.
Absolutely, that's going to be very important as well, because we saw it last game. Fantasies does like to roam around. I mean, we saw it actually in both games. He did go around quite a lot, taking those roams whenever he could. Same can be said, of course, from Blive Malji, especially when he was on that Akali in the first game. Previous game, he had a bit... It was a bit harder to roam around, in general, for both of them, because they were a lot mid lane. There was a lot of action on the other lanes. But indeed, the Cassiopeia pick coming in quite well with that. Top lane, we didn't talk that much about the top lane. And now I have a brain hole. What do they have? They have the Zac top, right? Zac versus Poppy on the top lane is probably actually. Yeah, again, those 2 champions would also like to help out their team. They like to be in the team fights, especially the Zac. They'll want to be in the team fights. I think overall in top lane we'll see probably a lot of very small skirmishes, but nothing too important. I think it's always going to be a lot of abilities at once, and then okay, we're back out. Zac is going to take his blob, Poppy is going to go for the shield, and then we're good until everything is off cooldown, and we'll go up against each other once again. So I have to see how that goes here.
Yeah, we see a lot Zac on top lane this season. In my opinion, not a pick that should be taken for the top, but maybe they have a strat in mind. So if Poppy executes it well, she can get easy that lead on top lane, but we will see.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they fare in the Summoner's Rift. And well, talking about seeing how they'll fare, shouldn't we get into it? I believe the game is ready, so let's head towards the Summoner's Rift. Yes, and here we are, dear spectators, as the champions are being summoned into the Rift. We have a Rift Riders on the blue side and HitmonLi on the red side. 2-0 currently with the match point in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, Rift Riders need to take this win, because if not, they can't get into Division 1. So now we see also playing it safe, keeping the vision on every entry on the jungle, maybe getting a bit deeper on the red side jungle to leave a ward behind, to having the information where does the enemy jungler start.
Yeah, absolutely. You can also see who goes where for HitmonLi, with indeed Lu Bu not being available right now. They have a neckbeard, a ranger who goes into the mid lane. Seidokul who goes from the AD carry position in jungle, something that has already been seen over the course of the regular season. And we have a Blive G on the AD carry position on the Samira, which, as a flashy AD carry, in my opinion, does fit his usual playstyle in the mid lane quite beautifully.
There we have a pause again.
Yeah, another break, so not even... Once again, we're not starting right off the bat, which is quite unfortunate. But seems like we were settling for quite calm start into the game. Didn't see too much to be going on, at least, which is a bit sad because there is a Nautilus, so we could see a small invade. No. We are going back to the game, as it seems like the issue is resolved, and top lane we have a very similar situation as last game. I can see here a small encounter in the pixel brush in the river once again, but this time around nobody dies.
Yeah, I think doing it a second time, that isn't quite the solution of that, but
that would be quite unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah. So now slow, playing it slow on every lane, getting the first 3.
Because, as I forget, for Rift Riders, it's their last shot, so they won't be overly aggressive until they have a lead, and then we hope that they do take the proper measures. On sides of HitmonLi, we are playing with a substitute, which means that it's not our usual full roster, so we have to be careful as well to not do any mistakes related to that. That could give the other team the upper hand too early in the game here.
So we will see maybe some action on bot lane because they Rift Riders, they have the information that Vi is pathing towards top, or maybe getting from Romp to bot lane for an early gank.
Yeah, maybe we have an early lane gank coming in here, as he started with the Raptors, half towards the bot lane. I have Zika right now, full steam ahead. Yeah, no. Okay, this is an unusual pathing, I would say. He goes now towards that red buff. While Zika now is almost finishing his first full clear. This bodes quite well for the jungler of Rift Riders, as he is boasting an 8CS lead quite early on. And this is the kind of thing in the jungle where if you get an early lead in terms of clearing, this could snowball quite heavily. Yorigoen's getting really low here. He of course has passive. Q looks for aggression, has to be careful though. But yeah, you can get this lead because not only will you be ahead in CS, but your camps will be spawning faster. You'll be able to take action on the map faster. Look at that. We have the first scuttle crab here for Zika. If he knew that the top one was free, he could even go for it. We have the first blood falling on Darkness Call here. For Darkness Call here. On the bot lane, we have an engage from Ziki here. But they're already quite close to the turret. Dog not getting really low here. Will survive, however. Now Zedok, who was on the top lane, is gonna revenge. No! Darkness Call once again with no! Careful,
no!
careful, careful! He survives back with a speck of dust. 4 HP on Zedokul. This was a really close call, buddy.
All planned, all planned.
Yeah, absolutely calculated, I believe.
But very beautiful, hitting the E on the turret to getting the kill, but very risky.
Yeah. Risky is... Yeah, that's one way to put it, I guess.
Now Taken also trying to get the information if Alvaf is going for grubs. They don't want to leave the grubs for her. You see rotating HitmonLi also to the grubs.
Yeah, we saw Yoriguns also coming in with the, but now he's caught between Astrid, Darkness Calls, and he's gonna die in a matter of seconds to the hands of Zika, who picks himself the first kill, and with that, 3 people at the Void Grubs, they can easily take it.
Yeah, we see the beautiful rotation here from Nautilus. Going to the grubs because that's the objective Belvav wants to get. Pathing now to the bot lane, getting maybe the information that they are doing Drake, trading Drake for grubs here.
Yes, they are, but they are looking for the engage here. Astrid does find the hook here on Organ, had lots of damage already falling on the enemy. Exos out on PostTV. We have the mid lane joining in, and that's another kill for Zika, as now it's a 4v3. Zedical really low, is forced to get back to the mid lane. Zika flashes behind Organ, who is unmounted. Now the mount comes back. The knockup is gonna land. That's a kill for No Not November. And it's really good that you immediately mentioned that. Okay, they didn't get the Drake, but they also only have 2 Void Grubs. And I think that's very interesting from Zika, that he left 1 Void Grub kill.
Yeah, the Nautilus immediately pathing towards Drake, getting the information down, getting the information if they do it. So they turned it here very well. The Nautilus ult coming in, knocking up Samira also, and just following Rel to get the last kill here, putting them in a very good position here. And if they manage to keep this tempo up now and don't giving them the chance to come back from this, there is a big possibility that they will take this game.
Yeah, that's already very huge lead indeed. And I think it's even a bigger one than they had in the second game. So they're starting off really strong here. If they can this time around close the deal, it proved quite good. Damn, Zika is gonna go for the 3rd Void Grub now as well. Of course.
Now,
yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
no problem. So.
Oh, we have the engage here on the bot lane. Lots of CC falling out on Astrid, who is going to die at the hands of PostTV. Of course, HitmonLi is not going to let themselves be faced by the situation at the Drake here and keeps the return action coming.
Yeah, that's. I think in that case, when the enemy is pushed towards your turret, you don't think of the jungler coming from the lane to gank you.
Yeah. Not necessarily. We like this interaction here, Zedical going for the enemy Krugs. I know that the Vamp is still getting some. No, we're not giving you cams for free here. Careful though. It's still a 3v2 situation here on the bot lane. We have level 6 for 2 members of HitmonLi that are here. And at November just getting his now. But what I want to say before is, right now, Rift Riders have full control in the jungle. Zika is not only 18 CS ahead, he is 2-0. He's got 3 Void Grubs. Things are currently in his control. And if they leverage that right, things could turn out really well. And he seems to be coming down to the bot lane. Zedical still there in the brush. HitmonLi none the wiser. We have the engage coming in from No Not November. Zika now comes in from the bush. Zedical goes onto the enemy AD carry with the charger and the seize, and that's a lot of damage, but he is able to flash out of the way. Astrid is the first to fall in this team fight, but I don't think that Ognat is going to survive. And now we have Fantasies who joined in from the mid lane. Another kill going to the Belvav player. Zedical now is not going to survive either. Triple kill for Zika. And it seems like we have a few disconnects falling in. I believe a few players of HitmonLi are actually brothers, so it could be that we have a small internet issue here for them. Now we can see the replay from this. Zika joining in, and immediately we have Fantasies joining up. He is already on the way. Then November flashes over the wall here, as we can see, and things are starting to look okay for HitmonLi, but boom. PostTV wanted to escape here through the river. Fantasies quickly put a stop to that.
Yeah, I mean, both of the teams didn't knew that the jungler were there. So but we lost a lot of time there on bot lane trying to force something there to get something out from the bot lane, but they needed to pay again for that. So we saw Balvav on the tree bush. They had no vision. They were pushed out. That's putting them in a very dangerous position. Also, Azir having the prior on mid lane, having the window to roam, because he was on his way to the bot lane, but he didn't need it to get to bot lane because they had everything down there.
Yeah, and this keeps them in a very good position. 3 more kills going to that Belvev pick, which we saw in the previous game can be really dangerous. We see now even further ahead, even earlier in the game. If they utilize this, I mean, they just keep the snowball going now. They have a snowball that they can keep rolling up, and eventually this could lead to when they just need to now, I think, assert themselves even more.
Yeah, they need to keep up this tempo. Don't giving HitmonLi the time to have a breath here, and like I said before, they want to close this game as fast as possible, because we saw in the last game one mistake and they can lose the tempo, and just switching the whole game for one team fight. But I think, in my opinion, they have now the confidence. They are so far ahead now, and we will see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We have indeed the confirmation that there is ping issues on sides of HitmonLi, so we hope that that is resolved quite soon and they can resume the game. Fortunately for them, currently behind, of course. I would not like to go up against, what is he now, 5-0 on that Belvav?
Yeah, I think
quite dangerous. And there is also, even though that November on that Zarya is currently in a rather okay position, I think he's going 2-0. So from one lead you can start to build up the other one and then keep on going. And I'll say it again, I really like Fantasies on this Azir. I mean, already the previous games he did really well, and now he's always there when you need him, right? Like just in time.
Yeah. So we see him when he sees the window. They are rotating very, very well. We need to keep in mind also that they have grubs, and they will go for the grubs. And if Azir he keeps it going on mid lane, having the prior on the right time, at the right moment, they will take this objective without a problem here.
Yeah, and especially since the Belvav is already quite well ahead, the odds are looking really good for them.
Yeah.
And currently, overall, looks like... Hey! No! I'm putting down my foot. Look, we had a very fair democratical vote earlier in the chat, and guess who won? Exactly, we won. So just take that away, please. Come on, it's just biased. This is typical of people in power, you know. So they're like, okay, we'll do a vote so we can hear everybody's thoughts on this, and then they just disregard that absolutely. They don't care about it, and they still want to get their opinions through. I'm not okay with that.
I understand you, but I have the same opinion.
Yeah, it's
about pineapple pizza.
Well, it doesn't matter. You know what? Ding dong, your opinion is wrong, and mine is right. Okay, please. Yeah. We have here in the chat some Rift Riders love coming in. Things are looking really good for them. But currently we are in a break-in game due to ping issues. That's quite unfortunate, because without seeing the game in front of us, it's also really hard to talk about what could be going on very soon. Because I have no clue of the state of the map, except that we have a Belvav on the bot lane that just got a triple kill, which is huge. I don't remember, was Drake up? I don't think it was up.
I think not. There's so much happening, and then
Yeah, and then boom, Drake. It's quite unfortunate.
yeah, now it's a bit unfortunate. Also, they needed to swap the jungler, Lulapu,
Lubu, yeah.
Lupu. Sorry if I said that wrong. That's maybe costing them the next match, because his performance was insane on the first 2 games.
Yeah, absolutely. On that Jarvan, did really well, especially in the first game. The second game, you also saw quite a lot from the jungler of Rift Riders, who had a very good run in the early stages of the games. Then eventually Lubu started to pick back up with very nice Cataclysm, focusing the right person. So this is definitely a huge loss on the side of HitmonLi for this game. They have Zedokul, which played as an AD carry in the previous games, now in the jungle, and currently having a bit of a rougher time against the Belvav of the Rift Riders, but not letting himself be deterred too much. I mean, looking for those kills, looking for the right ganks. Now the previous one, of course, went a bit sour, which is unfortunate to see, but still looking for the opportunities. We have the usual mid laner, BliveMalG, on the AD carry position on the Samira, which is, in my opinion, a champion that fits his playstyle really well. We saw him on Akali the first game. He plays a super fancy, not fancy, but flashy type of champions. Samira definitely falls into that.
Yeah, I mean, as an old AD carry main, when Samira came out, I love her kit. I love the champ. Also jumping from one side to another. But a big issue with Samira is when you have stuns and roots on the enemy team, that's very dangerous for Samira.
And we have quite a bit of CC on the sides of Rift Riders, with that Nautilus, with the Poppy, which we see here. He's gonna die. Oh yeah, I really like that situation. So close.
Oh, so good, yeah.
Very smart. A flash auto attack to the turret. Here you can see a bit of a recap of the game up to now. Very dominant Zik here, also taking the first few Void grabs. From there on started to slowly but surely build a lead. Drake goes to HitmonLi in this situation, but they react to it and they come out strong with a few kills from this.
Yeah. Also, Azim moving instantly to them. But as you mentioned before, Belvav leaving one block open to get as soon as possible to Drake to get something out of there.
Yes, absolutely. And here we saw the situation why I said that they're not letting themselves be deterred from being behind. Zedokul still went here for the kill, but here both junglers being there, both teams being none the wiser about it. They almost get the kill on No Not November. But unfortunately, it's not enough, and the situation turns around. They get the first kill on Astrid, but now we have Fantasies, and that's the thing. He is one step ahead of Neckbeard Ranger. He initiated the rotation. Neckbeard Ranger was barely out of the mid lane at that point. And the timing was just perfect, because it's exactly when BliveMalG wanted to escape through the river. Suddenly, oh, there's an Aussie here.
Nazir,
yeah. Oh, well, I guess I'll go back to the lane. And yeah, in the end, ultimately dies, resulting in that beautiful triple kill.
Yeah, very well done here. Good rotation. But it was a bit unfortunate that Belvav was there at this moment. Yeah, they needed to get out there as soon as they saw them maybe leaving one kill behind and assure or secure the path out for Samira, but they couldn't make it. They decided to get into the team fight, but also very close flash from Zeri getting out of this fight.
And that was very important, because by getting out of the fight, Zeri was able to still put out damage from the other side. And overall, I think things could have looked different if the Zeri wasn't still alive at that moment, because the damage she brought out was still quite decent. And with that, we have Rift Riders in a very advantageous position right now. I didn't take advantage of production showing us the clips again to take a look at the gold lead at the end, but they should have a rather decent gold lead right now, especially after this triple kill.
Yeah, before they went to the Drake, I think it wasn't a huge gap. But after the Drake fight and the bot lane fight, I think they need to be at least 3 to 4k ahead here.
Yeah, which is huge, especially considered that most of this lead is on one player, on the Bel'Veth, so he's gonna have a huge advantage from that. And having a jungler like Bel'Veth be ahead is always very nice, because Bel'Veth has carry potential, first off, can deal utter decent damage to the enemy team, but most importantly can carry this lead over to other lanes. The bot lane is already not too bad off themselves. I think 2 kills on the AD carry, I believe.
2-0, yeah.
Yeah, I think 2-0.
On Zeri, yeah.
And you can, with a proper gank, get some more on the Zeri. You can maybe get some gangers on the mid lane, start to get the Azir ahead, who is also doing a really good job with the rotations. Top lane is doing fine, but even there you can consolidate the Poppy's position on the top lane. So, you know, that's the I think that's the prime target to have a lead on with this composition there.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. But they have also top lane, because we didn't saw a lot of action here from Zac, but in the late game, mid to late game, Zac can turn around those fights. If Poppy isn't at the team fight available, so he can come in or engage from far away, Rift Riders not seeing him coming, and maybe they can do something with Zac there, but that will happen, I think, into the mid or late game here.
Yeah, I think once Zac survives for a bit in a team fight, Zac can become super dangerous, because he's going to go tanky, so it's going to be rough to kill him, because he can just pick up his blobs, he can engage, as you said he can engage from super far away once he's got a few levels into that E. And I play a lot of, when I very actively played League of Legends, I used to play Zac jungle. People, in my experience, very often can underestimate the damage that a Zac can put out. If he gets onto you, everything out, this can hurt, especially since you don't see it coming, so you might not react perfectly to it.
Yeah, true. And the game going on again.
Yes, we are back into the game. Now we can see, 3k gold lead, so you had a very good estimate there.
Yeah, that's if they keep up this tempo and this lead, I think they should they will get this win. But as we saw in Division 2, everything can happen until the last minute. So we need to see what will happen until late game.
Yeah, that's what's so wonderful about League of Legends. I mean, any huge misstep from Rift Riders could completely flip the situation and give HitmonLi back the second win they need to get back into this game. 3k gold is a huge lead, right? That's for sure. But it's not an insurmountable lead. Now we have a gang on the mid lane from Zik. We have a knock-up on Neckbit Ranger who flashes. Immediately not getting hooked here. Yeah,
close. Also, I love this rotation from bot to mid lane. So we see that Grobs will coming up soon, and they swap their bot lane to mid lane. But now maybe seeing some action on mid lane.
As we have the other bot lane that joins in as well. And November gets over the wall. Yorugo and still gets the Q. Knock up out. HitmonLi coming in strong with 5 men on the mid lane. Unfortunately for them, Rift Riders is able to escape that situation.
Yeah, now Cassiopeia missing ult for maybe the big fight.
Zika finds pitches on Zedo. Tensions are rising, Drake is up, and both teams have their eyes on it here. Lots of damage.
They want to get something out of here. So zoning here, but they will give the Drake to Rift Riders and decide maybe to go for the grubs or checking the grubs, but there is no Rift Riders on the grubs. They will take Drake.
Ooh, very nice insect coming in from Fantasies on Neckbit. Ranger is not going to get away from me as now Zika and then at November come from this Dragon Pit. And that's a second, this time around, second kill for the AD carry. Seems like we both had our memory absolutely jumbled up there.
Yeah, now heading to the grubs, maybe getting now the 6 grubs. Putting Rift Riders into a very, very strong position here. They need to do something. HitmonLi needs to get back into this game.
Yeah, and I think I was really hoping that they would go for the grubs when Rift Riders was at the Drake. To, even if they don't get all the grubs, at least get 2. So Rift Riders don't get no mites. Because especially with that Belvev, we saw that a few times. Belvev, we saw that on Tuesday actually as well, I think. Belvev with 6 Void grubs? You don't want to see that.
No. Having a minion wave and then Belvev with...
a second minion wave, essentially. That's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. Yeah?
Maybe more terrifying as the Blitzcrank before. Because I was very scared when...
when he came in with 2... I think so, yeah. Definitely more terrifying.
Also for the casters, having some tension here.
Yeah, definitely, because HitmonLi, they don't want to lose that spot. And right now they're in a position... So here's the thing, HitmonLi is not in a position where they can just now huddle up, wait for the late game, because it is a huge lead that Rift Riders has. They can definitely pull the rug from under their feet and widen that even more. And you can't just wait and hope for the late game here, because I think they lose in the late game against Rift Riders comp here.
Yeah. So we see also Herald coming soon up.
Fantas is getting tower dived here on the bot lane, did really well with Emperor's Divide. Yes. And such a wonderful Aze player, not gonna lie.
Yeah, the moves very well executed here. And also the damage, the insane damage of Asia. And now also pinging for the Herald if Rift Riders manage also to get the Herald here, which they are in a good position to get.
Goen's going for the solo Bodo here with the ultimate, but we have the Keeper's Verdict that says, nah fam, go back to your base.
Get out of here!
Get off my lawn!
But now Belvev starting already the Herald. HitmonLi did not knowing that they are on the Herald, getting the Herald now, and now Belvev is just so huge with the 6 drops and the Herald.
Yep, careful there. Honor gets away, I believe. Assault and Battery on Fantasies under the turret for the tower dive together with Neckbit Ranger, but Cedric's taking a lot of damage here, dies in the end. Neckbit Ranger does get the kill as well, but 1-for-1, was it that worth? As Darkness Called now comes bot lane, gets this both overstunned. Very nice petrifying gaze here from Neckbit Ranger. Plays around to Blastgun here. He's just gonna wait there. Waits for the proper opportunity, but yeah, no, that's another W. Gets the E, not against the wall. Lots of damage falling out on the Cassiopeia. Players Darkness Call flashes in to secure the kill. Ognadognum now comes down to the bot lane, but I wouldn't dare that 1v1, no.
No. Also Poppy in a very good position here, but getting the 2 kills on bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Darkness Call up to now had very strong games overall in this evening. Previous game on that channel as well in the laning phase did really well. Right now against the Zag, absolutely monstrous. I mean, not only does he have the kill lead, but look at the CS difference. 70 CS is
That's
completely nuts.
Yeah, that's insane too. For Shan, it didn't mean so much if you don't have as much CS, because you will have this tankiness, and it's it.
This time around, Darkness Call being caught on bot lane. We have Zeduk Nag mid gear unorganized onto him. He tries to shove them away with the ultimate, but does not succeed and is ultimately going to die here. In the meantime, however, the minion wave on the mid lane with the Herald, they take that tier 1 and rotate right off the bat towards that Drake. Rift Riders don't need an equal amount of members to contest an objective, no.
Yeah, that's the Rift Riders, how we saw them playing in Division 2. At the early game, they had a bit of difficulties, but after some time passes, they have a huge prior on objectives, and close to every time they dominated the objectives, so they can secure the objectives and having the information of the enemy if they want to engage.
Yes, and now that they do have this lead, this time around, unlike last game, they are really settling into it. Setting the pace, playing very aggressively where they can. Not overstepping, of course, but definitely properly pressuring the enemy here.
Yeah, also now close to 7k ahead. The gold difference just getting huge, bigger.
Yeah. It just keeps on climbing. They still have so much CS leads on every single lane except for the bot lane here. And it just keeps on growing because once they're able to just go into a lane, push the wave in, HitmonLi is going to have a much rougher time to get CS themselves. And plus, they can threaten the jungle camps right now.
Yeah. Did they need to play safe, getting the information when they are split at the moment, and then maybe looking for play to get those bounties and coming back into the game? But I think Rift Riders don't or won't let them getting back.
Yeah, they definitely won't let them back. Because as you said, if they get those bounties, this can already turn the tides. Have to be careful here. Top lane Yorigo and this would have solo bowler with so much damage falling out, is forced to use that bounce, and with that is able to turn the tides in this 1v1. Have Zedukul not too far away, ready to come in. Soul and battery is up. Doctor's call. That's quite fast. Flashes in. Everything is used. They go in. This was very nice flash, however, as he dodges the Q and gets the kill against Zedukul, and almost as well against Yorigoans. Oh boy.
Yeah, getting the dodge with the E, knocking Vi into the wall. Very beautiful.
Yeah. Wonderfully played by Darkness Call. But yeah, what I wanted to say is, at least they have one prime target for that. Oh, he goes back in, but you're too far behind. I think that's another kill for Darkness Call. They have one single prime target, and that's Sicker.
Yeah, they need to get him out. But also, Zack seeming to... it didn't seem that he's too far behind, because he's putting a lot of damage out, getting tankier, but and now they...
Slowly but surely, yes, Zedukul finds purchase here on Fantasist. This might be one of those catches that are very important. Once again, a very nice ulti coming out from the Azir player. Now with Neckbeard Ranger coming in with the TP, they pick up another kill on him. Yorigoan survives really long indeed here.
Yeah, he needed to go back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
He overextended there on top lane. After this gank, he had his lane pushed out. He needed to get back there. Getting reset, coming back to lane with full health. Now Rift Riders on Baron.
As taking now the first Baron of this game. Sedokel just around the corner, however. I don't know if he saw. I don't know. He didn't suss that out with the Oracle lens. That's too sad. Whoops. Too bad.
I think he could maybe look for a steal here, but
It's been very dangerous. I think we can both agree on that.
yeah.
Flash is not up either. There was no blast cone to get over, so we would have had to use the Vault Breaker to get over the wall. And that's if he wouldn't have died in a matter of seconds. Rick, what's going in onto Fantasies? We have Sedokel reversed around the corner, and it's the same situation all over again. And they find purchase, they pick up the kill against the Azir. I really like it because they take the picks they can. They're saying, okay, Nazir is all alone, let's go all in on him. But at what cost? Now they've given up the third Drake of the game. It's sole point for Rift Riders. They take the tier 2 on the mid lane. They get a wave pushed in on the bot lane. That's quite the cost.
Yeah, the only opportunity is Azir at this point. So Azir with 1-3-4, the best opportunity to get a kill. But like you said, they needed to sell a lot there to get this kill.
They went for the Yan Gauge on Darkness Call and are able to pick him up. Zika was just around the corner. Decided to not go in the fight. Wise choice, because if he had died there as well against these 5 men, that would have hurt them.
Yeah, now also Rift Riders trying to open top lane, opening the map for them. More possibilities to catch them on their jungle, getting the vision near to HitmonLi's base. But if HitmonLi manages now to get one bounty after another, Rift Riders need to be careful there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's as always not always over, because if you take a look at HitmonLi, they also have here an AD carry in the form of Live Magion at Samira, who's starting to rack up quite a bit of money thanks to his quite good CS. Let's not forget, and they are looking for those catches. They are in a 5v2 on 2 of their carries here. Fortunately, they're not able to find proper purchase, but this was looking really good for them for a second there.
Yeah, nice deny of Balvav to deny the jump of Zac there. Getting out of this situation.
So now things die down a bit. No objectives on the horizon.
They need to keep this tempo up, Rift Riders. If they wait too long and leave some kills to HitmonLi, they will lose the advantage here.
Yeah, definitely. Need to keep the pace up. But they can... Ooh, ooh! That did not hit, did it? He didn't get hooked, but he interrupted the back here, it seems like. It's weird. But now the hook lands, and Neckbeard Ranger is not gonna get away from this, I believe. Tries to fight back, but it's not enough. Look at the damage from Zika on that Belvav. However, this is the current call for HitmonLi to go on to Darkness Call, who is all alone. It is a 3v2 situation. You still have to be careful because they are far behind. Ogland is forced to fall back. Now it's Fantasies they decide to go on to, and now they collapse back on Darkness Call. We have Yorick, who came down from the top lane, is going to E in, does not land the stun. However, Sedokel getting really low, is forced to fall back. His Vault Breaker getting interrupted. That's the situation. Turns around. Blind Malji has joined now back up, is able to pick up a first kill for them, but dies ultimately against Zika, the fan member of Rift Riders, who in the end conclude this team fight in a victory.
Holy moly. At one moment it seemed to that they will get Balvav there, but now they are pushing just in. They have no chance to come back here.
Now, I do also think that by now it seems like the Damocles has fallen for HitmonLi in this game. As the lead is getting bigger and bigger, this is the last stand, but the
Yes.
damage from Rift Riders is just absolutely insane.
Insane.
We have the first win of a second division team against a Division 1 team, as Rift Riders is able to win the third game of this best of 5 series and put themselves in a 2-1 position. Yes.
Maybe the prediction is true.
Maybe it is.
So we will have a 3-2 game.
Maybe a 3-2. Maybe it's the reverse sweep coming in for them as well. We'll see that. Either way, very, very strong game from Rift Riders. I mean, essentially, they took what they did game 2 and they just turned the turbo up. They did the same thing, but even faster, even stronger, faster, better, stronger. And in the end, even concluded with using their lead actually quite aggressively, as we said they should do.
Yeah. Yeah, we see it. They adapt everything. Now on the third game, a strong comeback here from Rift Riders. Maybe making a statement here. We are here and we want to win, and we will not make it easy for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Will they keep that up for the fourth game of tonight? Will they be able to equalize in this best of 5 series? Or will HitmonLi get a backup stronger themselves and conclude it here before it gets too late? We will see that in just a bit as we head for a small break.